Welcome back, guys. This is WCW edition of KUTV Rise Today. You are with me, Karen Blessing, for today, and we are diving into our first launch. This is a very informative show in nature. So we are going to be talking matters mental health, and I have a lady and a gentleman ready to make sure that we are making enough noise about mental health, getting solutions from left, right, and center, because we definitely need them. Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
We're fine.
We say ladies first. I'm a men ahead. Let's start with the lady. Please introduce yourself to guys at home. Tell us wewe ni nani, unafanya nini?
My name is Petronila Adhiambo. Yeah. I am a student at Machakos University, pursuing a degree in environmental sciences, and I am a model and a YouTuber. The same.
I like that. She has a couple of titles in her bag, you know.
Yeah. Good morning, Kenya.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm Brand Samuel. I am a student at Machakos University, and I do a degree in public health, and I also advocate for the mental health programs and youth leadership initiatives within the country, and specifically within the institution that is Machakos University.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing. I'd like to go back to Petronila. Let's start with Machakos University before we narrow down to you guys. What do you guys deal with? Where did you decide to delve into mental health? Because that is the conversation that we are going to have today. So as Machakos University, where are you guys headed? What is the goal for the institution in general?
Okay, so just a brief on that.
Yeah.
This is why we decided to champion for mental health, is because this year we had two students who we lost two students to suicide. Yeah, and this necessitated us to go ahead and champion for mental health as much as we can. We have partnered with Kenya Alumni Association, Kenya United States Alumni Association, whereby we have different alumni from the US government scholarship programs who have come in to do community service projects. And for Machakos, having started the Machakos chapter, we have delved into matters mental health, because before we discuss about economic empowerment, peace and security, we need to analyze and assess how is the mental health of different individuals in our campus.
Yeah, like if this youth or these people are ready, to advance economically or environmentally, they need to be good mentally. So I feel like that's a very good beginning. I feel like that's a very good beginning of a discussion through mental health.
Yes. And that is what our school decided to major in. And as the Machakos chapter, we have started by, actually this weekend, we started by going into different schools. We have started with a primary school, a small primary school in Machakos, whereby we go and talk to the kids about mental health, because it cuts across. It doesn't just begin from you being at the age of 18. It begins from a young age, from as early as 12, as early as a teenager, because we end up carrying traumas from our young generation to our future.
Exactly.
So we decided to start with the primary school children, educate them about mental health, and then what mental health is, and then we go through different people.
Going to the top, because I feel like any 20-year-old was once a 5-year-old, so we cannot just start at 20 years as if that is where mental health issues crop from. I want to dive to Brian. Why do you think it is important for us to start about having conversations like Petronila has said from a very young age?
Okay, I can personally say that at a young age, this is where the early childhood development takes place, and it's really of necessity, because the moment we start introducing mental health talks to young children, we bring them up in that environment, because we all know that it's a matter of nurture and nature. So if we don't bring up the kids, the small children, in this environment of on mental health talks, then as they grow, it's a gradual thing. The psychiatrist will tell you that it's a matter of exposure time. The more these children grow, the more that mental disorder become gross. And when it becomes gross at advanced level, it becomes very difficult to handle such situations. So therefore, we really need these mentorship programs from the early childhood, because that is the developmental age. And the moment these children grow mentally, up the ladder, they'll be able to handle and cope with the stresses of life, because we all know that stresses of life can't cease. They are everywhere, always economically, academic, socially, we all revolve around. So we really need to incorporate the mentorship programs to our youths, so that they can be, and even children as they grow up, so that it will be helpful for them to cope with stresses of life. So that when they meet these situations, it's not like attacking them from at the first place. It's not like it's a first situation thing. They have been exposed to it. They'll be able to cope and live with the stresses of life.
Exactly. That's so we would say like mental health talk with kids is like a cancer caught early. The earlier the better. So then I would ask, now that you have had that experience of going to a primary school, how do you bring up a mental health conversation without it sounding like this big, this gigantic idea to small kids? How do you bring them to understand what you're talking about?
For me, I think it's as simple as just asking the child, how do you feel on a daily basis? How do you talk to your parents? Do you express your feelings when you're hurt? Because at some point we go through, even as adults, we go through different situations in life, but we don't really get to explain them to people. We end up keeping them to ourselves, and by that, it's the situation grows to become something that we did not. It can be so little as it seems. It grows to be something that we did not expect to get at. So it's as simple as just asking them. You explain to them what is mental health on a child will not be able to understand what that mental health is mentally. So you actually ask them, how do you feel about yourself? How do you, because it's about self-awareness. It begins from being self-aware of yourself. For an adolescent, let me say, they start having different changes in their body. Do you like your body? You have I just want to say it openly. You're growing pubic hair, you're growing, your breasts are enlarging as a young child. So you need to know how to express yourselves at the end of the day.
Your voice is deepening, like that has affected a lot of, or your voice is not deepening when it should be, at that age. This is nice. I like that, because now it's giving us a leeway. Like, we are not just talking about this big jargon that is mental health, but kutoka like small issues like development.
It begins from the small things, because a child, once they know how to express themselves, they understand themselves better, they get self-aware of who they are, they love their bodies, they love who they're becoming. That way they even become more productive as they grow. Then they are able to express themselves fully,
even better. I like that. Now I like that you both have initiatives on mental health, and I want to start with you, Brian. What is your initiative about? Where do you stage it on? How do you reach people concerning mental health?
Okay, thank you. I do reach out mental health. I have a Facebook page. That is where I majorly air out and write things on mental health, because I've come to realize that most of the youths, people nowadays are shifting. It's a civilized country. People are going to technology. People are acquiring gadgets, phones. People are no longer maybe going for billboards and going for the books. Most youths are going for the internet thing, online. And that's where I base because when you go online, that's where you can get these people, the youths, and talk to them on basis of mental health. So I have a Facebook page, and there I do mental health stuffs, and I advise the youths on how to live and cope up with stresses of life. So far, I've gotten some who are like my clients, that I talk to them. I give them a talk therapy, because one thing I know about mental health is talk therapy is good. The guest who was here, I want to echo what she said, is that we have to speak it out. If we don't speak it out, it will kill us. So speaking it out will help you and will relieve you from the burden of mental health disorders. Because so I decided to venture in the online thing, so that I can reach the youths. I can reach people using these gadgets, so that they can get the information. From getting the information, they can be able to maybe live and cope up with stresses of life. Before I get to Petronila, I want you to break it down a little bit more. So what exactly do you do on your Facebook page? Do you post a post concerning a certain topic that is mental health? Do you post I have seen posts where people post other people's stories that have inboxed them personally, and that discussion gets going. So how exactly do you go about your awareness on mental health? Okay, I do. It's a all-round thing. First, people, I have come with a thing that we know people love things that appeal them.
Yes.
That appealing thing, because the moment you put something maybe in a word form, people might not even go to it in detail and read it all.
Exactly.
So I come up with a picture. So I come with a picture, maybe if it's let's talk about violence.
Yeah.
Violence is a risk factor for mental health disorders.
Yes.
So if it's violence, we might bring on maybe a drunkard father beating a child, or sexual violence is also another thing. So when people see the poster, when people see that picture, they really want to, that eager to what is happening here.
Yes.
And the moment they go through the notes or the words, they are able to get what really is, and it's going to touch them at their personal level.
Yes, the message that you wanted to get there. I like that because long posts are a turn off for a lot of people. Like, they will read the first 3 lines and they're like, this is important, but there's a meme. There are memes, there are videos I have to see as I scroll through. Petronila, how do you go about your initiative on mental health?
Yes, as I've mentioned earlier, I'm a YouTuber. Yeah, I post videos on YouTube.
Yes.
And I'm a model. So on my page, I have different people who reach out to me on my page. And I can say I'm a mental health advocate because from the beginning of when I started my YouTube channel, I used to talk about mental health a lot. I even have a video I did about suicide prevention. And that is generally how I communicate the message out there. Yes. What I do is mental health is close to me because of the few issues that we go through every day, anxiety, because it's a normal day to day.
Yes.
So I had to just search the information out there, what I'm going through in the same way personally, and then air the information out, because on YouTube is mainly about talking to people. At the same time, on Instagram, I've started a series called Mental Health Defined, whereby I engage different people. For now, I've engaged mental health advocate. Her name is she's a young lady. She's called Motsi. So we did a video, an Instagram live on YouTube. It's still on my YouTube channel, on my Instagram channel. It's an Instagram live. So we basically just talking about mental health, and then trying to break the jargon. You know, mental health can be such a big word.
Yes, it sounds like this is a whole big thing that needs professionals to talk about it.
But just sharing out freely and being like, hey, this is not a big word. It's something that you go through every day. Every human being is a stressed human being. So basically just sharing the information freely and telling people that we all go through all these sad moments, and it's okay. We just get to know how to you just need to know how are you going to deal with these issues, so that it doesn't get to the top point where we can't now deal it anymore.
Exactly.
To lead to depression or suicidal thoughts, you know.
Exactly. Where now we are dealing with these massive things that cannot be, we cannot undo, because you cannot undo suicide, you cannot undo murder or anything. I want to ask you, Bran, I know mental health is across all ages, but what are some of the people, according to your research and talk and posts, who are mostly affected by mental health issues?
Okay, I can say the people who are affected, just to generally bring it down and then talk to the specific people. These are, let's start from the young children as they are brought up. That kind of environment where they are brought up, they are made to be exposed to these, but in as much as they have not realized the impact of these as tortures and depression, they grow up in that environment. But yet, the most people now, when we compare on gender, I think the next guest is coming is talking about gender. Women are more affected. They are more prone to this depression thing. Why? One thing about, medically, we have the hormonal differences or imbalances in the body, and we find that at specific times, that is during the reproductive ages, that is between the age of 25 and the age of 44, that is the reproductive age in women. They are accompanied with series of maybe the menstrual cycles, and there is these hormones, the estrogen and the progesterone hormone that is released. These hormones at a given point in time, they affect the neurotransmitters, that is now medically, and they do affect the neuroendorphins, and that cycle even affect the circadian cycle, because the circadian cycle is the sleep thing that regulates the sleep and wake clock in the brain. So, and one thing about depression is one time there might be sleeping shift in sleeping patterns, we find somebody might be sleeping too much or might be lacking sleep at all. Insomnia, that is. Now, at that point, the hormonal imbalance thing makes these ladies or women more at risk as compared to our fellow men. At the same time, there is issue on social role differences. We find that the ladies are more exposed to things dealing with the maybe housewives and mothers, that nurturing and housekeeping things. So at the long run, they're overburdened. Assume somebody is having a work, and at the same time, after job, there are a lot of duties at home, cook, take care of the children, and that a lot bring issues having on depression and mental health disorders among our ladies.
So I feel like it is important for us to note those age bracket and those groups where they are most prone to mental health issues, not just age wise, even socially, economically, like which group economically is more prone to mental health issues, which group age-wise is more prone to mental health issues, which group gender-wise are more prone to mental health issues. I feel like that is important. In your field, Petronila, what is one case that you came across that really made you feel, anyway, I need to get this conversation out there?
In a field as a YouTuber?
Yes, as a YouTuber, as an online person, which story have you come across, or someone talked to you, or you were talking to someone, or just someone just left their comment and you felt this is why we should be having these conversations more?
To me, it's a personal story.
Yes.
Because through COVID, we went through different situations. It took us to the least. We did not expect COVID to come and just take over, and those lockdown. We went back home, so that's I wasn't someone who could be in one position at a specific point. So I had to be home the whole time, and I was feeling I think anxiety. That is how I can describe it. Anxiety comes to the issue of you feeling like you're panicking, because it came at a point whereby we did not know this situation is going to change, or whether it's going to be different, what's going to happen, are we going back to school, how long it's going to take. So that brought some feeling of anxiety to me, and I didn't find a way of expressing myself to someone and tell them that this is exactly how I'm feeling at the end of the day. Then I had to go online and search for the information and ask myself, what really is anxiety? Why do I feel like I'm breathing and I feel like I'm panicking? But when I went online, I found the information and I was helped. So that created a void in me to decide that I need to share about matters mental health. I need to go out there, talk to different people, because as I open up the story to people, as I share matters about mental health, the whole point of me having a YouTube channel, I realized that somebody will not really comment on the YouTube channel of the post I did, but will come and say, you know what, you talk about anxiety, I've been feeling the same way. So how did you deal with it? You get people who explain that to you, and that way I got the encouragement to proceed more and share about matters mental health.
Exactly. I like that. Now that has actually brought me to an angle that I wasn't thinking about at the beginning. Matters COVID-19. This is 1 year down the line, 1 year, few more months down the line. How are guys mentally, how are we coping with trying to come away, to come from COVID, from everything that COVID brought right now, Brian, from everything that COVID brought, how are we progressing in terms of recovering from COVID in matters mental health?
Okay, I can say that the government has really taken an initiative, because as at an individual basis, we might not be able to reach out and speak out. As we speak out these things, we need the government to or the well-wishers, this philanthropist, people at large to help us in this. And the government has really not slacked its weapons, because we find that there are the mentorship programs at schools, even at some communities. We find that people are going, the mentors, as we are here, we've been given facilities, the resources to go and reach out. Like in schools, we can't go alone. The institution has to facilitate us. So the matters of COVID-19, they have brought issues, but yet we can't really say that there is nothing that has never been done. It is done that we are given resources, we are given the facilities to reach out these children, to reach out these elderly people in this village, to reach out these mothers, the ladies at large, and all people in all facets of life, so that they can recover out of the situation, because COVID-19 is here to stay with us, and we can't say that we are going to lack the positivity, we are going to lack the go ahead. So
this funding from institutions is really coming in handy. I'd like that. Big up, of course, to Machakos University for funding such, being pro such movements and such ventures and such discussions on mental health, because honestly, just as Brian and Petronila, there's honestly little you can do as opposed to when you are supported by such institutions. So congratulations to Machakos University and every other NGO or even a profit-based organization that is going out of their way to fund matters mental health, to fund discussions on mental health, to find their people professionals who can come to the organizations and talk about mental health. That is important. As we conclude, what is the dream? What is the dream for the YouTube channel, for the discussion on mental health? Where would you want it to get to, Petronila?
I would want to create a safe space for everyone, where I don't want just to put the information out there and attract people, because of course as you continue posting you get more following, but the thing is to create a safe space whereby people will be able to talk about their issues openly. You know, somebody will express their feelings to you, and as much as you can only do the least to help, because sometimes there's some issues that can get out of you can't really sort some issues. You need a therapist. You can advise them to go ahead and seek help. And that is my goal at the end of the day, to just create a safe space. At the same time, me as a model, I would like to be that representation in society, to be someone who champions for mental health, to be known for it at the end of the day, and then to empower more more children, more inclusive of both genders, the male and the female, you know, to inclusive of everyone, to discuss openly about mental health regardless of your age, because it cuts across people who are 40 years and above. They also go through different issues,
set of things that can cause mental health issues.
So as I talk about it more and more, may I be able to empower so many people to be open about how they feel. Do not hide how you feel internally. Just express yourself better.
Exactly. We said 50% of mental health issues, not really, in mental health issues, 50% of them can be sorted by just speaking about them. By knowing that you're not the only one, by knowing many other people are going through that, by knowing people have gone through it and overcome, so you can be able to have those conversations. Brian, what is the dream? Okay, my dream as an individual is one thing I have to say is that being that mental health is a crisis, and it's something that is generative. It's there, and we can't really kill it, and it can't be cured at all. But there are things. There's therapies. We can do as a psychotherapy, that is the talk therapy. We can do the pharmacotherapy, but at the end of the day, we have to incorporate all these together so that we can achieve the goal of dealing with mental health. Now, as an individual, I want to say that with my Facebook page account, I really want to really reach out to people, really post, and really even I wish I could get people the well wishers, because at some point there are people who can't maybe access the phones. At least I can even go out and reach, maybe have a club. I really need a formal club so that we can be visiting apart from the institution club, because at one point we must leave school. I can continue with this mentorship of mental health issues to even at home and at various places of residence. Exactly. I love that those initiatives are past school, because definitely you're going to clear campus. There's going to be no more funding unless it's for alumni from that. So I like that there are plans past clearing campus. There's a lot of comments pale FB. A lot of people are watching. At Ocampo Luis anasema, I'm waiting for Miss Petronila. I know, wasn't she great? She is definitely great. Someone else anasema, Daphne, let me get that. Let me just get Wenesi Sandra anasema, waiting on the phenomenal woman Petronila. I hope you guys have loved this conversation. Someone else, Mwenesi Sandra again, anasema Petronila, she's happy that you are actually here. Mtoto wa Mariam anasema watu wa public health huku wapole. Kangoni, what are the qualifications? I know, like they are so calm, collected, ready to have this conversation. Justina Kathambi, that is my makeup artist, guys. That is the one that makes me look this awesome. Anasema watching and keep up the good work, Karen. Thank you, my dear. Alfred Patrick is talking about the discussion that we are having today. Anasema, I'm keenly listening, Doc. Your life matters. Everyone's lives matter. Mental health has become a great menace, both at home, schools, and workplaces, which I think we can all agree. Indeed, this is a topic which requires a lot of discussions and actions. Mental health talks about outreach programs should be established to help in the creation of awareness and preventing stigma about mental health. I couldn't agree more. Alfred Patrick, thank you so much for that specific comment. Lee James Brown anasema following you guys closely. I'm giving you time so that you can pick up a few people before we close. Someone else, Miriam Juki anasema WCW edition with Karen Blessing Day Made. Thank you so much, my dear. Vicky AC anasema Vicky AC, awesome discussion, keep it up guys, thank you so much. Faith Pendo anasema tuned in from Machakos, karibu Machakos County. Petronila, I'm so proud of you. She's very, very proud, and the good work you're doing concerning mental health awareness. Doreen Machembe finally is saying good Petty this morning, mental awareness is such a big deal that people are not ready to talk. Thank you so much for putting it out there. This is just a small fragment of people who are benefiting from such discussions that we are having today. So I am glad, I am proud that you guys are actually doing this. Machakos University, of course, you have said big up. Petronila and Brand, thank you for your individual and collective contribution to matters mental health. I want to give you an opportunity to say hi to guys at home. Wasalimieni tu, najua tutarudi, because we talk about mental health all the time. So you guys clear campus, you guys have another initiative, make sure you are up here. We are ready to give you this platform. Tuanze na Brian or Petronila. Okay, sawa.
Okay, so I have a lot of people I would like to thank, and to send my greetings out there, but just grateful for my family for always encouraging me through the process. It's still a journey, doesn't stop at any point. Exactly. So we'll continue to speak about mental health, and then also send my sincere love and also special appreciation to a young mental health advocate. Her name is Mutsi. She's called Mutsi on Instagram. She's a dedicated lady to champion about mental health. And then also the same greetings goes to everyone at Machakos University. Yes. And also I did a conversation on 360 FM podcast about mental health. So if at all you guys can find time and watch, I'll be glad.
We'll definitely find the time. Social media handles finally, how can guys get to reach you?
Okay, on Instagram I am pet_Adhiambo. Small letters.
Yes.
On Facebook, please follow me on Facebook. I only have 3 followers. On Facebook, I'm Petty Adhiambo. And then on YouTube, it's Pet. It's like you say, it is a girl. So it's Pet. Yeah, on YouTube.
I like that.
Yes,
I like that, guys. So Pet_Adhiambo on Instagram, and then her YouTube page is at It's Pet. That is nice. That is such a cute, creative name. So follow her, get to see her discussions, conversations. They will help. Bran?
Yeah, I could like to send my regards and big ups to Mom. Mom is a strong lady. I want to be so much appreciative to her, because she's behind my everything up to where I am, because she has mentored me. I've been growing in that nurture of a mother, and I know what a mother is to me. So she has really done a lot despite of this and ups and down. She has really mentored me. I have been facing up, because at one point I've been a victim of depression.
Exactly.
But I came out of it because of her and other people, like the spiritual leaders, back to school. That is my lecturers, because they really impact on us being the pioneer students in our course. They really do, because at one point being a pioneer makes you feel like, what if I finish, will I get this job? And then because there are underlying issues, but they continue giving us mentorship, and that will help us not get or fall into victim of mental disorders. I could also not forget my friends, just to mention Alfred Patrick and Lebron. These are classmates. just big ups to them.
Yes.
And I love you so much.
Thank you so much. I know you cannot mention everyone. Definitely, there are people you might have forgotten, but feel all the love from Petronila and Brian, all the way from Machakos University. I am grateful for the work that they are doing. Definitely appreciate them. There's so many of your comments, guys, that are coming in. I'm going to be reading them in just a bit. So if I've not read yours, write it. I'm going to be reading it after this launch. Thank you so much, guys. It's been